This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, Summer Helene and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk4 Media.
G'day guys, welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Summer Helene, and we are on with my co-host, Snuggy Bear. I was going to say
the baddest bear in the cage, no.
as
per usual.
I wasn't going to say the baddest bear in the cage because we're putting a pink and blue wig on you today.
It also sounds bad when I try and give my own title because it sounds like I'm like promoting
the
myself.
Baddest bear in the cage.
See, I didn't.
Snuggy Bear.
See, I'm not the only one just saying it.
Because I called you Smuggy Bear, which is a little more accurate.
Smuggy?
You're a little smug.
I was thinking smog, actually.
No, Smuggy.
Okay.
Okay,
smug,
but
full of myself.
No, after your last fight, you're a little butthurt.
Yeah, I'm emotionally damaged. That's to say the least.
His panties are in a little bit of a twist.
Hey, that's
not?
not a good statement considering what I have to wear today as part of our show.
You don't want twisted panties? We're actually doing a BDSM show again today, but like no panties.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And wigs.
We are doing wigs. So we've been talking about what's trending and what to buy for Christmas. I know next week we have slime. He's very excited about that. Mm-hmm. It's actually a pre-record. We're doing it with Sam Alvey. He's coming on directly after this show. We're recording next week's show. And we have the slime. He keeps looking at it.
You're taking away the air of excitement and surprise when you do that. Next
week's slime. This week's wigs. But so for those that know, I always have to start with this. I'm sponsored by a company called KMX10s. They actually, my deal ended with them. So when I tell you that they're a really good company, I mean it. This isn't something I'm being paid. The wig I'm wearing, for those that don't know, I do.
Oh, the headphones are coming off for this one.
Like I do. It matches my own hair. I have pieces in, but I do a wig every week. And Tiny Bubbles, you know it's not my hair. You've pulled on the wig. So Tiny Bubbles does my hair every single week. Not every single week, but they do my wigs. And so KMX10s actually makes my wigs. And so this is like one that I use that's curly. KMX10s is high quality human hair wigs. That makes a massive difference. I can wear them on the red carpet. You could throw me through a window and they won't come off.
Yeah.
Except today it's being held on with headphones.
I fight in them.
Liar. But we're going to talk about the difference. So when I talk about human hair and I say KMX10s, I'm not sponsored by them right now. They did give me the wig that I am wearing, but my sponsorship deal with them is over.
It's beautiful.
So
really.
It is. But so when I tell you that I keep going back to them, it's just a heads up. I do mean it. So we're going to be talking about the difference between synthetic wigs and human hair wigs. So I need you to put this on.
How do you put this on?
Okay. So take off your ears.
Oh, it's like a big.
It's skull cap.
It's almost like a head condom.
Yeah, it's a head condom, skull cap.
Okay.
Take it off.
So I lose the ears for this.
You lose the ears, and we're going to put this on, and then we're going to try some different wigs for the show, and we'll talk about the difference between clip-on pieces, halos, and what to buy. So if your chick wants a wig, KMX10s does natural human hair. Synthetic's also fun for events. Believe it or not, I know everyone's down on synthetic wigs.
Like this?
Wow, that is very
I feel like I
handsome,
should
honey.
be in a kitchen.
Now, let's put this on. Now, you're
look at this
very
thing.
handsome.
You can't even see
put
part of it.
on the wig. Oh, yeah, because of the multicolor.
Yeah.
The blue. I have a blue screen. So behind us, so part of the wig can't be seen.
So now I look.
Put this on.
Now I look like I'm emo and like halfway bald.
Well, the whole point of this, I had the anime wig for him. It's got like the little pieces on the side and everything. Head down.
This is not at all
what you're going for.
No.
So there are different kinds of wigs.
Like I'm all for.
You have the anime wigs.
I'm all for gender neutrality. Be whatever you want to be. But this isn't for me. I'm sorry. Like
you're very
I don't
pretty.
promote this.
You're very pretty.
It's really hot.
Anyway, so when
that's not what I mean.
When you're looking at wigs, when you're looking at things like this, we'll start with this one. This is like an anime style wig. It's synthetic. It's not human hair. It has the additional pieces that you can like clip on, add ponytails to, that sort of thing. You can tell it's got blue pieces. We have a blue screen behind us in our living room.
Oh my God, this is
You can take that off. We'll go to the next one. We'll try the next wig in a minute.
Oh man.
Let's put that there. So that is a synthetic wig. After that, you've got different kinds of synthetic and human hair.
Oh, am I wearing this one too?
Yeah, you can.
You didn't say I was modeling all of these.
You're not doing all of them.
just most of them.
So if you're looking for it, the thing I always say, don't go to places like Wish. Even Amazon can be a crapshoot if you're trying to buy it. Go through private companies.
What are you looking for when you want a decent
When you want a decent wig, you want lace front, which you can see. You can cut it to adjust to your hair. This one hasn't been cut yet.
Mm-hmm.
You can have different pieces. Now you put this on. This is the front.
This is the front. Yeah, okay. So fair enough.
So I have naturally very curly hair. Part of the reason I wear wigs is when straight hair came into fashion. Excellent job, dear. When straight hair just leave the wig, it's okay.
This is someone who doesn't wear wigs, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
so when straight hair, you can put it on. You got it back.
Oh, now I got to put it on.
When straight hair came into fashion, it was easier for me to buy a wig than it was to try and straighten my curly ass hair.
Now, why would this be good as like a gift for Christmas?
So if you're looking for your daughter, if she's wanting to dye her hair red, if you're looking for your girlfriend who's wanting to dye her hair red,
this actually isn't that bad.
This looks like you look like you look like Dee Snider from Twisted Sister.
I definitely felt like Motley Crue was a better example, but okay, Dee Snider it is.
You look like Dee Snider. This is actually, so I bought this to match my own natural hair.
Eye.
You'll survive. I bought this to match my own natural hair, except it was too dark. I kept it because my mom wears it sometimes.
Okay, I can see that.
So
she also wants to look like she's from an 80s hair metal band.
Yeah, she does. My mom kind of likes to dress like a hoe.
That's not what I said.
That's what I said.
All
right, let's leave this off. Let's leave this off. So that's what we're doing. He's not a fan of the wigs. If you're liking the difference between synthetic or human, we can talk about that next week. Let's bring on Dr. Jason because Snuggy Bear looks horrified. Leave that on. We're going to do more wigs.
I'm going to leave the wig cap on.
Yeah, we're going to do more wigs. You can put your ears on.
Hear our guest. Good day, sir. How are you doing?
Hey, how are you? I love it. I love that wig.
All right. Well, thank you.
It's great.
If for the record, you could say you hate it and let's not encourage her to do more of this. That way.
I want to see that on you more often.
See?
Well, you already get to see me at my worst physically. Now you got to see me at my worst emotionally.
Yeah. I know that would have been last week's fight. Last week's fight would have been his worst emotionally.
Dr. Tirano, why don't you tell people a little bit about you and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm the owner of Viva Life Healing Centers. We're a regenerative integrative functional health center. So I'm actually a vascular surgeon historically, but have made the transition into helping people in a different way. So, and we do a lot of different things here, anything from regenerative biologics, which, which includes stem cells, PRP, exosomes, if anybody knows what those are, and a lot of non-invasive therapies to help with healing and overall health and wellness. So.
Do stem cells get rid of wrinkles? Is that like a thing?
So there's actually stuff that we do here called regenerative aesthetics, which we include stem cells with a lot of the aesthetics procedures we do. And there's a lot of research coming out with particularly exosomes and aesthetics. So there's some exciting things happening.
I have no idea what any of that means. All I heard was, you guys know, I have actually never been to him. I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
but
just think of it like this.
I'm into this.
Exosomes are like signaling particles. They come from umbilical cord of placentas that are donated, and they signal the body to start coming in and healing and regenerating collagen or cartilage, muscle, bone, whatever it is. And stem cells are the actual cells that actually do that.
And
okay.
You got an incredible story as to why you started this. Would you mind telling us what got you into this line of work and this type of healing?
Yeah, so, through vascular surgery, we deal with most of the very, very sick people that shouldn't be operated on, end-stage disease, diabetes, peripheral vascular disease leading to gangrene, limb amputation, strokes, heart attacks, you name it. And so I started thinking, wow, we're really kind of doing a disservice to people in the healthcare system, and we're not getting these things on the front end. So, preventing these things from happening. And then it was kind of solidified with my mom, who had a bunch of orthopedic problems, hip fractured and everything else. And she was just dwindling and nobody could help her. And so as kind of a ditch effort, we tried stem cells on her. And she was like literally going from not walking up and down the stairs to walking up and down the stairs with no pain within like a month.
Yeah.
And so that was like one of my aha moments of like, wow, there are things that we can be doing for people. And that was just the springboard into my education into functional medicine and looking at kind of root problems versus just treating people symptomatically with pharmaceuticals and surgery.
Yeah. And
I love listening. Sorry, I love listening to people like you. Like, I love that you're making a difference. I understood like half of that. There's a reason I was an underwear model, not that bright.
Right.
But I appreciated how you explained it. You really kind of brought it down to where I understood it a bit better. I think it's incredible that you're helping people in that way.
Yeah, I mean, we're really trying to transform people's lives, not just treat their symptoms, which I've really enjoyed, empowering people to take control of their own healthcare and something different from, what traditional medicine is offering. And I think people are really hungry for it. And just, I can just tell you story after story of transformations that we've made in people's lives. And I don't know what, if you can attest, Bear, to some of the things.
I know you did him.
Absolutely.
He can move his hand now.
So I had tendonitis in my wrist that is now all but completely gone. The most I ever see anymore is like a little indent where once there was a ton of pain. I couldn't function. I'd actually give up when I'm a fighter. So I'd give up positions in the cage. Or I give up positions in training, and people would hit me more
his coach
often.
off. So his coach sent him
because someone would touch my wrist, and I would just like, I give up. Just leave it alone.
Right.
And so now that's all but healed. We work on things like my shoulder, my knee. I've had broken bones. I come in, they're fixed incredibly fast compared to what I would have expected at any other circumstance. And something I noticed as well with you and your organization is I don't get like medications, and I don't get like extended long-term plans apart from the treatment itself. Whereas I feel like if I go to another doctor, if I go to an urgent care, they just kind of
you're sponsored by another medical team. Don't say they're assholes.
I feel that with most of the medical system, I'm given a permanent plan to just cope with what's going on versus ever getting better and having to stop those plans.
Yeah. I think that's exactly right.
You really did help. There were like I'm going to massively overshare. There were like sexual positions where he'd put his hand down and he's like, we're done. Like, this isn't happening. So I thank you. His wrist's working much better now.
Well, I'll document that as another benefit that our treatments have.
Oh, yes. Excellent. I love that.
Thank you.
So I hate how I've put on this wig. It's now in my face and I'm touching it like every 4 seconds. I'm tucking this onto my headphone because I'm more interested.
Just to say on the wig standpoint, we do hair restoration as well. So there's regenerative hair restoration procedures so, you don't have to wear a wig. If people are wearing wigs for, hair problems, we can help with that.
That was actually something that was going to come up later on in the show. We work with like Locks of Love. We'll cut, we cut hair and donate it to them because we work with the cancer foundations, the lupus foundations. I know I have lupus and I actually work with the lupus foundations. Does that work for people with like systemic lupus where they're losing their hair?
Yeah. So I think autoimmune disease is something that we're really good at. And a couple things with lupus in particular, the research around stem cells and lupus is really good. It's one of the most studied autoimmune diseases, but also, looking at gut health and a lot of those other things that trigger autoimmune disease is really important. And so you can really, really control lupus by kind of starting from the gut and working outwards. And
he could have fixed me and you didn't tell me.
It's all about diet.
You're sleeping on the couch.
I didn't know.
You're sleeping on the couch.
I got kind of selfish with my own pain. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to talk.
We offer people different things based on what they're dealing with. But when you look at really health and wellness, a lot of it starts in the gut. So addressing that is really important.
What's so funny about that? I had originally they thought I had drug-induced lupus. Turned out it became a permanent problem. What induced it was eating food in America. Where I came from, we didn't have the same stuff in the food. So the joke is American cheese nearly killed me. I ate a McDonald's cheeseburger, ended up in the hospital for like 6 weeks and nearly died. And ended up with lupus. So when you said in the gut, I'm like, that you could have underscored it. Exclamation mark. I'm like, wow, that's really So for you, what are the most dramatic changes you've seen? I mean, you're working with stem cells. I know that's controversial. And to anyone out there, fuck you if you don't like it. I'd like to remind you every time we use bad language, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. We swear because we care. So it's the Sean Patrick Flannery
rule.
That
we are compliant with our stem cell usage. We do it under the scope of research, and we have an IND, so investigational new drugs. So we are compliant. So
I'm hugely pro. Like,
but you're doing what you need to do to make sure that people can get these treatments, and that's what's important.
What we need to do is educate the public so they stop complaining about these treatments. Ow. Yeah. Okay, I'll be quiet.
But no, it's absolutely wonderful. So as we were asking, some of the dramatic changes you've seen. Well, one, clearly your own mother from the stem cell treatment, but what is maybe some other ones that aren't related to particularly joint issues?
Yeah, so there's always one case that really stands out for me as a momentous case in our clinic. And it is surrounded with healing, but not joints per se. It was a lady who was on dialysis and end-stage diabetic, really brittle diabetic. She had gangrene in her foot. She underwent an amputation at an outside hospital, and then that amputation site just would not heal. It was a below-the-knee amputation. She had hyperbaric oxygen, all sorts of surgeries, tried to remove the dead tissue. Nothing got better. So she came to me, she was so hopeless. She was bedbound. Her husband and her had no hope. They were just in dire straits. So I did, stem cells on her and a bunch of other of our treatments. And within 8 weeks, I had the entire thing healed. And you can't understand the transformation in their lives because of that alone. The hope that they got, that improved their relationship, her mental attitude, and just she had hopes then of getting a prosthetic and dancing again. And she was a dancer at one point. So, those are the types of transformations that I never saw in surgery or anything like that, which really, so impactful.
That's changing her life forever right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think people realize when you have wounds that won't close, or you're sick for an extended period of time, or you can't heal, the level of hopelessness that comes over that kind of gets to a point. I've gotten it when I first got sick. There's a level of hopelessness, and the fact that you can kind of bring hope to people, help them heal, do that, I think that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I think
that's really incredible.
The relationships that I've developed in this practice, because it is a more relationship and a partnering with your patient type of practice, that empowers them so much, and that hope they get from that alone can be transformational. A life without hope is a life not worth living, right?
So, yeah, absolutely. And speaking of empower, you guys have another section of your clinic too that's geared towards men, correct?
Yes, we have Empower Men's Health, which is strictly men, and we do a lot of hormonal optimization in that clinic, as well as some male aesthetics, lifestyle, nutrition, counseling, everything male. So we felt,
No, it's okay. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, we felt males needed a place that they could feel safe in and have a home in and have a place to come. So.
And if we were to ask, what would be like the ideal guy you would think would walk into the doors for your kind of treatment?
At the male clinic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, the ideal candidate is a middle-aged male who, just isn't feeling great, doesn't have the energies to have, doesn't have the sex drive, doesn't recover, not doing well from workouts, gaining weight, just losing the edge. Looking at those types of things that men just historically don't want to talk about, and they'll just usually internalize it, myself included at one point. But you can transform their lives dramatically, and with those types of symptoms.
We just had a fly come into the studio, and you are dealing with two people with ADD.
Yeah,
so you lost.
I
we're going to have to rewind.
I want to take away from what you just said. That was all wonderful. I hope the audience, please listen to what he said. Don't pay attention to us. That was absolutely terrible.
I just see Bear like. So basically when you're talking about when you hit middle age and kind of testosterone starts dropping and all those things start changing.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We call it menopause.
Oh, okay, man. That makes sense.
Actually, I like that term. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. If it happens to women, it would happen to men. You'd have the hormonal change.
Absolutely does.
That's awesome.
Yep. But even from a healing standpoint, optimizing hormones, I mean, we do it for women too in our regenerative clinic. Part of that, it's a big piece of the puzzle, optimizing hormones just for overall health and wellness.
That's excellent. I love that you guys are here for everyone. And do you have, I know you have the
I love
one
that
location in.
I love that he's saving lives. He's like helping people that are really suffering. I'm like, do you do Botox and stem cells? I feel like such an asshole.
You're very much for the aesthetic side.
I'm definitely for the aesthetic. I'm like, and how does this do this? Like, can it help bigger? Like, but I love that you're saving lives, and I feel like I'm cheapening it. Where can everyone find you?
Not at all. We're here for everybody.
I like that.
We're in Rancho Cucamonga, California. We're at www.viva.life, and our Instagram is just Viva Life Healing Centers.
So
excellent, very easy to find and lovely stuff you guys offer.
I'm gonna say this. So I know Bear goes to him. So for you guys, I'm gonna give a different endorsement because I don't go to him. I think I met you once in passing at an event. I've seen a difference since Bear has gone to him. Joe Stevenson, Joe Daddy, sent him over.
That's
because he couldn't.
MMA coach for those who may
oh my God! Everybody follows the show, knows who your coach is. Everybody knows who Joe is. Joe is amazing. He's the guy that zaps you with the shot collar. Oh, reminding everyone, Spa Star, not this Saturday, next Saturday, the 25th. Make sure you watch the live stream. The pay-per-view. Bear's getting zapped with the shot collar. Joe's got the clicky.
And the link is in all my bios on social media, so you guys should go check that out. It's only $10.
And you should come to the event. Come watch and get shocked with it.
I would love that. No, but I've really enjoyed watching your evolution as a fighter. I mean, I've been to a couple of your fights, and I will tell you that one fight, I was just so impressed with you. So
thank you. I really appreciate that very much. I love when you're the doctor there, man. Like, I like our is it repertoire? How do you say it? The
how much are you getting punched in the head?
I don't know. I like our communication with each other. You know. So I feel like you're part of my luck charm, man. Repartee. Thank you.
So you guys know it has made a big difference. I'm joking around a lot. You all know I tend to do that. Bear could not move his wrist. It was bad. And when you see a guy his size, that tough, halfway to tears every day trying to move his wrist, it does make a difference.
Frozen solid.
It would.
It wouldn't do anything.
So I'm telling you this. I am not sponsored by him. He's never even done my Botox. That'll probably change. But it's never even done that.
I love what you're on.
Vanity, really? That's a shock. I was an underwear model. But it does make a difference. If you guys get a chance, go in, check it out. It makes a huge difference. If you got something that traditional medicine isn't working for, give it a go. That's a personal endorsement. I'm not sponsored, any of that. So just seeing your progress.
All right.
So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go from something so serious to BDSM. I've just totally killed the vibe. But we'd love to have you on again. If that's something you're interested in doing.
I would love to. There's so many things we can talk about. Yeah.
Perfect.
That'd be excellent.
And Botox can be one of them.
We can definitely talk Botox.
Okay.
We'll talk more of the aesthetic side.
We'll talk about that. Thank you so much for joining us, Botox. I'm taking that line. Thank you very much for joining us.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Guys, next we are going to be on with BDSM for Dummies or Kink for Dummies.
I think it's Kink4 Dummies, DUMMIES.
Now, the next thing we're going to talk about, Kink, we'll know when Kink's on here, is we're going to be talking about halos. Now, a halo is a different kind of wig.
So it's not quite a wig. It's more like it sits around your pre-existing hair.
It goes under your hair.
See, I know stuff.
That's because I have had a halo and I work with the company Halo.
Are you going to try this one on?
No, babe, you are.
What?
Sorry. So this goes, take off your piece.
Okay.
This goes, you're going to look like Riff Raff from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Who's Riff Raff?
You'll see. So this goes on under here.
Okay.
It goes around here.
Yep.
Pull this forward. So pull it forward so it's on here, and your own hair holds it on. You don't usually wear a wig cap for this. Don't pull it any lower. So this goes under existing hair.
You know who I look like? Who's
Riff Raff from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I look like the guy who made the
Kaylee, would you make sure BDSM is ready?
Summer. Kid Rock. I look like Kid Rock.
You got the same hairline in that wig cap.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Kid Rock is a douche. Anyway, time for BDSM. So, sorry, I'm telling my assistant. So this is a halo. It's a different kind. If your girlfriend's looking for longer hair but doesn't necessarily want a whole wig, turn your head. This is a great one. This one's synthetic. Synthetic holds its shape better, but you can't change the shape. You can't style it. You can't do any of that.
But if you don't have a girlfriend and you want an awesome Halloween costume, you can go as Kid Rock. You just need I think you just need a tank top or a wife beater, some cargo shorts, and this, and you're golden.
I'm gonna take my halo back.
No, I like this one. I like this outfit.
This is a halo. That's a little scoopy. And then of course there is the ponytails. That is like one single piece. Ours fell on the ground.
So it doesn't actually it doesn't sit around your
No,
head,
it goes around the ponytail and clips on. It goes, this would be the easiest way to do it. So you take this, and I know this one's got blue in it, so it doesn't always show. Turn your head, and it clips right onto your existing ponytail.
This, you know what I look like? I look like one of those Trojan soldiers there. That's not at all what I was going for. Thank you very much.
Whenever Kink4Dummies is on, we can have her come in.
That actually hurt a little bit. She just stabbed me in the head. Oh, there she is.
Welcome to the show.
I think you missed.
Can't hear you.
No, you're completely
muted.
Completely muted. Maybe check.
You hit it again.
No, that's a
nope.
That
now
is
you're muted
right there.
Maybe take off the headphones. We can't hear her. No, pull them out, fool.
Hey, I think we got you now. How
can
you
we
doing?
hear you now?
Yes.
All right.
Excellent.
Perfect.
It means we get ambient room noise, whatever.
Fantastic.
Now, as a segue, we are talking about wigs and kink. Did you like Bear's ponytail?
I think he looks absolutely ridiculous, but there is a kink for everybody, so I'm sure somebody finds it appealing.
What do you mean?
Wait, what kind of kink is this? If I have this on and
I got it.
A real question. I have this on. I'm walking around, whatever. No.
I know
you can keep all of this.
Hang on. It's tangled.
It's tangled. Oh boy.
What kind of kink would there be for this?
There we go. I got it.
I don't know. I am not quite sure, but I'm sure that everybody has a kink. So there is somebody in this world with 7+ billion people. There is somebody that finds that appealing.
That finds Bear in a bald
cap.
Yeah,
it's this one right there.
With ponies appealing.
It's this woman. She finds this appealing. Yep. You know, speaking of various kinks from around the world, huh?
I said just leave it.
Oh, okay. Speaking of various kinks from around the world, what are some of the oddest ones you've seen being in this line of work?
This isn't her job. She does this for fun. So you guys know, she works in the entertainment industry. She's not like a dominatrix for money.
Yeah.
He is really against these pigtails. I keep trying to leave him in. You can take your wig cap off.
Oh, I'm done with the wig cap. Excellent.
Yeah.
Personally,
I'm sorry. It wasn't meant to be an insult. I was just curious. Like, you've just been in this industry for a long time.
It's an industry now, Lex.
I am not a sex worker.
Fine.
But I do work in the entertainment industry,
which is essentially a sex worker.
I yes.
As you can tell, we're all really good friends.
I don't know as far as what the industry, but I have had some weird experiences, like a guy that was he was told that I was really into historical facts by somebody.
Oh, before we get anywhere there, shout out to Tiny Bubbles Hair Salon in Palm Springs, California. They set my wigs. They do my wigs. Learn the difference between synthetic and human hair, depending on what you want to do. Synthetic, if you just want to throw human hair, if you're wanting something you can use again and again and again and again. I go to Tiny Bubbles. He sets my wigs, does my hair, matches my hair to match my wigs, to match everything. He's brilliant. And thank you to KMX Tens. I know you're not sponsoring me, but you have given me beautiful wigs and extensions, and I'm totally working with you next year. I love your stuff.
And you look stunning. But more on the
what is wrong with your hair?
You put a wig cap on me.
Oh, right.
But more on the historical facts. I'd love to know more about this.
Well, he told some dude.
No, just hold on. Let our good friend here explain the story.
This is not good. It's not good for your image. The answer is no.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I'd like to remind everyone, I work with the Bears management team. She's the head of Bears management team. And there are moments where I'm like, I get that you and Alexis are friends.
Yes.
But there are some things people don't need to know about you.
Very well.
The fact that he likes spanking girls is one of those.
Well, let's divert then, since clearly I'm not allowed to talk about it. What is
kink? Let's start there.
Sure.
He's just gotten really excited, hung a left. It's because Dr. Chiriano came on. He was already really excited. Then there was a fly. I think he needs a nap after this.
Well, they're recording something after this.
That's a good point.
Kink is a preference for specific things. It can be anything. You can have a fascination for the way something feels and it can turn you on. It could be something even not sexual. It doesn't necessarily, it's just a preference.
So if my preference was Chris Evans dressed as Captain America,
that could be a kink.
Henry Cavill as Superman, but not The Witcher. I'm not into the Xena warrior princess thing.
So does a kink
yes,
have
he
to
likes
be like,
him as The Witcher.
Does a kink
Is that
have
a
to
kink?
be?
Everybody has a kink.
Does a kink have to be a broad spectrum, or can it be something very, very specific? So she's saying like these particular dudes in an outfit, right? But what if it was only those dudes in an outfit, not anyone in a Captain American outfit?
No. I'm not into that. I'm just really into like the all-American guy thing. It's why, and no offense, like Henry Cavill's an awesome actor, but he appeals to me when he's Superman.
That makes sense.
Because I have a thing for the whole clean-cut all-American boy thing.
I haven't noticed.
You haven't noticed, yeah. How many of them I've dated that you know fit that category? Yeah. That's the point. But I have a preference for that. At what point does it become a kink versus a preference? Because I like the old American boy thing, but I have dated guys that, you know, aren't American. They're still really clean cut though.
From what I understand, there's a difference between fetish and kink. So a fetish is when something is absolutely specific. Like I only like I only become sexually attracted when there is something specific that is added in. So like the feel of satin, like that could be something that is fetished.
Okay, that makes sense. And then a broad, what would be more of a kink then, if we're the same ballpark there?
Kink is a spectrum, from my understanding of it.
So instead of it just being like satin, it can be fabrics turn me on, like touching clothing.
No, like there is pegging, there is there I have
it's just a bit of left field of fabrics, but I'll take it.
No, like in broader spectrum, there is bondage, there is sadism, masochism. That is
so it's okay. So kink would be I like to be tied up. Fetish would be I like to be tied up with red rope.
Yes.
I understood that better than you.
Yeah, I think I'm still grasping the concept here.
I'm not even into kink and I got that. Okay, got it.
What are some of the more dangerous kinks and or fetishes that you're aware of in this?
You know, she's like an advocate for kink. Like she doesn't usually talk about.
But hey, everyone should be aware. Like I want to know what are some of the riskier things here.
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Google it.
Yeah, that is definitely one. But then you cautions, like something I've discussed previously is having a pair of scissors on hand. If you are going to do these, take the precautions necessary for afterwards so that if anything does go wrong, you have the ability to fix it.
Autoerotic asphyxiation is strangling yourself during masturbation, though. So the scissors aren't really going to help you if you pass out. Lots of people have died that way.
On that.
Pardon?
BoJack Horseman did a whole entire episode on that.
So did half of Hollywood. They just do it privately.
Grand TV show, by the way.
Love BoJack.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Miss Kitty, go on.
So I would just say take precautions.
Just making sure that you stay safe throughout these experiences.
You hear this the term with your kink thing, and Lex says it all the time, is safe, sane, and consensual.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
To do it safely, so have precautions in place, consensually, so have the consent of the partners that you are doing this with.
I thought non-consent was a kink.
That is.
Then how does that work with consent?
Because you have to have the consent for it to be non-consensual.
Well, hold on. Actually, you're on the same topic I wanted to ask, and that is that
sounds dumb.
This concept of consensual non-consent, or otherwise shorthand C&C, is rather controversial. Some people are really for it. Some people are really against it. I've seen you post about it before on your pages. Can you maybe explain a little more about it and what
you can't have consent and non-consent in the same thing? That sounds dumb.
And what your opinion on it? What's your stance?
Does contradict, but at the same time, you are agreeing with your partner to consensually role play essentially a non-consensual situation.
Yeah, but if they're into non-consent, wouldn't pretending not really be fun?
No, because it has to for the action to take place, because then it becomes completely non-consensual.
Yeah, there's a word for it. We're not going to use it because this goes to YouTube.
I think the goal as well is to make sure that when you are done, or maybe something happened you weren't expecting, you guys set up like a safe word or something you can use to call it off. That would be the consent part of the circumstance.
Okay,
obviously,
so
there is communication. You do agree upon the different situations. Like some people go completely nonverbal. So at that point, you would have to obviously watch
tap out like you're fighting.
Yeah, that could be. Or, some people go deer in headlights, and then you obviously are always paying attention to your partner because this is a situation that you guys have agreed upon verbally. The communication is there.
That doesn't sound smart. Like, you can't put all of it on one person. Like, no offense. If I want to break up with Bear, I'm not going to turn around and be like, peace.
Well, that's
and expect him to get it.
But that's a different that's a different circumstance altogether. If you're gonna leave me, I expect more of a conversation, just peace. But if we set up to
do I have to
with you?
Yes. If we were in a circumstance like that, yes, I would want some kind of verbal or nonverbal communication that would tell me, oh, we have now gone too far.
Yeah.
It's been 8 years, honey.
But so why? So the consensual non-consent is controversial because why?
Because some people think that it is okay. Some people that are completely against it. But the thing is,
it's not like fucking a bunny rabbit.
It's not.
That by the way, I shouldn't have to say that's bad.
I don't think you did.
I'm just checking. People are weird.
Again, you have to be able to communicate with your partner. Not everybody is going to be into the same thing. It's controversial because some people don't see it as a action that can become consensual, because the action itself of non-consent is not necessarily something that is consensual if it is not planned to be consensual.
Okay, so it's not like, hey, surprise anal. You can't okay, so if
surprise
I wanted
anal
to
is not a thing.
Surprise, it could be.
No, like if you guys agree to it beforehand.
So if let's say I'm interested in being, what did you call it? The pegging thing. And I want to surprise Bear by doing that.
You would have to tell me first.
So if I tell you, you'll let me do it.
No, I have to agree to it.
Okay. So you have to agree to it. Then what?
That I suppose then we would move forward.
Okay. How do you
I don't agree to it.
But then I get where she's saying it's like the surprise anal thing. Like, you might agree to me getting to wear the penis in the relationship. Is that on the table?
No.
Okay. To me wearing the penis in the relationship, but I couldn't surprise you with it.
If we had that circumstance, yeah, I think so.
So that's the consensual non-consent debate, is essentially whether or not surprise anal is okay.
Well, yes, and
you're missing some key points there, I feel like.
That's all I've gotten from this so far.
I think there's some things that clearly were missed. We've gone from A to Z very quickly. There is a lot in between on this. But yes, essentially it has to be consensual with your partner of what you are going to participate in.
So if I wanted to surprise him with anal,
that would be non-consensual.
But it would be consensual if I hugged him. Then it's consent and non-consent.
No, because I consented to the hug. I'm curious. I'm assuming that on your pages, how many followers and how many views you get, people have questions for you, and I would guess that they send you these questions. Do you have any? Have you ever had any requests or questions that kind of stick out to you?
I don't have any that particularly stick out. I do get a lot of requests on a pretty daily basis of, particular things that people are interested in that they would like to learn more. And so then I do a little bit of research and put out content that is in those parameters. And I've had people that have called me out on the information that's being put out being incorrect, which then it's obviously taken down, and then other content that does fit in those parameters is put out, because it's more of an informational community on what BDSM is and the kink community in general. It's not necessarily
polyamorous knowledge sharing.
Actually, yeah, kind of.
See, I get some of this stuff.
I'm proud of you. So it's very much, you're kind of like the Google of sex. Really? Yes. She hit the mark with polyamorous knowledge sharing, but I miss it with Google and with this Google of sex. Okay.
No, she's like the slutty version of Google. All right, Google slutty. Let's talk about, well, no, I'm kidding. All joking aside on that, that is something people perceive, that BDSM and people that are into that do lean towards the more promiscuous side. That's not something I've seen. I mean, I've been around you. I've been around your friends. That's not something that necessarily fits. So why do you think people view BDSM as something dirty, or the people as something dirty? I'm going to go serious with it.
I think the perception comes from actually a lot of what is in entertainment. Mainly because
Bear's into BDSM and he's a hoe and he's in entertainment, people assume that everyone is a hoe.
Yes.
Excellent.
No. No, mainly because especially religion has a great impact on how people perceive things. I mean, a lot of America and the world are sold sex, but then told that they are going to hell for having sexual relations. Some of it is before relations. You're not allowed to have sex before marriage. So it really depends. And I think that we sell sex to people on a pretty consistent basis, but then make it a taboo subject. And so everybody that is into that then becomes something
taboo themselves.
Yeah.
Why do you think America seems to have the view that somehow the vagina is attached to the soul?
I think that has a lot to do with religion.
So it goes back to the whole religious speech about it. Kind of, they put you down, they make you feel bad.
You
about
guys
yourself.
were started by Puritans. It's not like you had the best and brightest to start the bunch.
I think it's also a matter of a way to control people.
Can you explain a little more about that?
Actually, that is historically true. When you control reproductive rights or the sexual view, you do control people. When you have, when women have like access to, this has got nothing to do with BDSM. This is my soapbox, so blame me for this. When women have access to reproductive care and aren't forced to have child after child after child, they tend to educate. Life gets better for them. So when you have a situation where people aren't educated, religion is pushed on people, and morality is judged by the number of penises someone has had, male or female, go gay, straight, whatever. Like if you're taking penis, apparently that's a problem. It is a very, very, very dangerous view, I think.
Well, look what the Catholic Church has done with their priest. And
aren't you Catholic?
I am.
Yes.
So you're a good person to elaborate on this.
Well, the Catholic Church used to allow priests to get married. They stopped doing it because they wanted the money and the inheritance to go to the church rather than the wife. So that was why. It was money.
Never even heard of that.
No, the answer is always money. Why do people want to control? Why do people want to control sex? Money. Why do people want to control people? Money.
Why do we sell sex to people? Money.
Money.
Well, I would have thought that cults that control people's sex are because the cult leader just wants to bang everybody.
No, money. It's money and control. It's why does every cult leader want to, sleep with children?
It's not money, that's
power.
for sure.
No,
okay,
that's power. Money and power. It's the two things that control everything. I'm absolutely money driven.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to try and control people's sex?
No, I don't try and control people's sex. I sell sex to people.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
So I'm money driven. People that are power driven try and repress sex.
Okay. I don't know where I was going with that one. I'm just kind of baffled by this whole situation. I never knew that was a thing.
Which one?
The whole controlling people's sex for power. Like I understood
Isn't that part of the kink itself? Like when you talk about BDSM, like you like to tie people up. Isn't that part of a power thingy?
Would that really
be the boss? Yeah.
Would that really be considered controlling their sex if they are going to get off though, and it's their idea too, like they agree to it?
Well, yes, if it's
Define
consensual. If it is consensual and that's something that you guys have agreed to beforehand.
Yeah.
But it really depends on what you guys have communicated. What have you agreed on?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
What we should agree on. Now, let me ask this. Is there a kink where nobody ever touches you?
Asexual.
I don't think that's a kink, because a kink implies that it gets you off, or at least gets you hard.
No, there's asexuality in itself is the preference for not having sex.
But now, is that really kinky?
Oh, I'm going to say this. I don't
Yes and no, it still kind of falls under the same category.
Weird. I would not have thought so.
So something I'm going to say, I personally don't like to be touched. I've been sexually assaulted. I'm very afraid of being touched a lot of the time. So for me, it's not a kink. It's not an asexuality thing. It's trauma. People view people that are into kink as it being a result of trauma. I'm traumatized, not into kink. Do you think there is a correlation between kink and trauma? And if not, where did it come from?
I don't necessarily think it comes from trauma response, but every single thing that you're into is a result of something that you have experienced. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. So, though I don't think it's directly related to a trauma response, I do think it is from our experiences in general, be it traumatic or be it a happy, pleasant experience.
Okay, so it's not exactly related to something like along the lines of abuse, but it could involve that. And I don't mean that as a facetious, like, gotcha, it is about abuse. I'm just asking because in general, people are going to misinterpret that as one or the other, when in reality, it could be any number of things. It
could be positive. It could be
positive, negative. It could be porn. It could be a relationship. It could be whatever.
Yeah, because you're into kink and you're not traumatized.
Right.
Well, you have like daddy issues because your dad died when you were like 5.
I don't think that led to my kinks, but okay.
Neither do I. It's a whole different thing. But like you're into kink and you don't have that trauma. I have a great deal of trauma and I don't like being touched at all. I just don't even like being touched because of it. So yeah, I can see that. I can see it being an experience related. Do you think that the negative view that kink has gotten is deserved? I mean, 50 Shades of Grey has brought it mainstream and people are looking at it more positively. But before then, it was just kind of looked at as dirty, trashy nastiness.
I think it's still, in a way, like, it's not as mainstream as, say, religion or anything like that.
I certainly hope not.
No, I'm
we don't
saying
need more sex cults.
It's not... I'm sure there are sex cults.
There are lots of them.
But no, I think that yes, it's brought it more mainstream, but I think it's brought a negative connotation with it becoming mainstream because there's been so much backlash from everything that has come out with the BDSM because there was very little information behind it. I think that it has caused a great deal of backlash where it was unnecessary, where it had it been brought out with, people that are actually participants of the BDSM community, I think it would have more seamlessly been integrated into the mainstream world than it has been. I think that there's a lot of people that have gotten hurt from the way that it was brought out, because the person that did the 50 Shades of Grey franchise herself wasn't a practitioner of BDSM. And a handful of knowledge is a very dangerous thing.
So the world should have gotten into BDSM the same way he got me into bed. Slowly, carefully, and with patience.
And consensual.
Man, I'm really happy you went that route, because you could have made that a very bad joke.
I wasn't. No, in all seriousness, I figured if I was going to be honest with people and talk about the trauma, because we are in a relationship, I wanted to be clear. Like, it's that was something you were very, very patient and very, very good about. And even still, when I get jumpy, you're really good about it.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much. And thank you as well to our guest Kink4Dummies for being on with us today. Can you let everyone know where they could find you?
You can find Kink4Dummies on everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, everywhere.
If you have an interest in BDSM, if you have an interest in sex, if you want to spice things up, check out Kink4Dummies. It's got a wide array of stuff. Like, I didn't think I had any kinks until I saw something they had, which was called a praise kink. So apparently she's legit right. There is something for everyone. I'm just saying, I really do like being told I'm fabulous.
And yes, you are.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Good night. Wait, I'm going to tap out. Good night.
Tap out. Good night.
Night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with Summer Helene and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk4 Media.